strap on your finest rubber suit and get ready to tear the town up, because we're taking a look at Godzilla 1978 here on the Why Is This a Cartoon Cast? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Why Is This a Cartoon Cast? It's the only show on the internet where we take a look at animated adaptations and ask the essential question, hey, why is this a cartoon? I'm your host, Joey. Joining me is Chris.
Hola, fuckers.
And Tim.
Konnichiwa.
And Chris, honestly, I was going to say we need to tone the language down on the show.
What?
How are we supposed to get sponsors like Casper Sleep Mattress or Loot Crate or...
Fail.
Damn it. No, I'll cut it in.
BlueChew.com.
Or BlueChew.com. Do you want an erection? Visit BlueChew.com. Please sponsor us for the love of God.
I'll put a BlueChew.com sticker on my car if you give me money. I am a whore.
Tim, you would tattoo a fucking Viagra tablet to your face if they gave you money.
They give me enough money. I'm easily persuaded by bucks.
Like I said earlier, this week we're taking a look at Godzilla in 1978.
Oof.
Oof.
Oof. I'm going to point out that
a cartoon about a giant destructive monster would be so boring.
Yeah. I think I took a lot of notes on this one because I was so bored. Like, I didn't even look up at the screen. I was just writing things. I'd look up every so often and write down what I looked at.
This was a rough one.
It was. I'd point out, though, that this was my idea. And
well, we were going to get to it eventually.
Yeah, but it was my idea to do this one, and I'm going to apologize. Yeah. Dude, the TNT commercials were amazing.
Oh, so
I just
good.
wanted to watch the TNT commercials, that's it.
Somebody somewhere has that whole marathon taped, and I just want the tapes.
I can almost guarantee my friend Jason probably has it taped. Yeah. I know he has them on VHS. We used to sit there and watch the Godzilla-thon. Like, we'd sit in his basement and watch Godzilla-thon.
For the uninitiated, the copy of this episode we watched was burned from TNT during a Godzilla marathon, and it had the sickest bumps.
It did. They were amazing. I saw everybody. King Ghidorah, which is also Monster X. I almost said him twice. Mechagodzilla. Was it Gigan?
Gigan,
yeah.
Like, they were all in there. It was amazing. And I didn't see Baby Godzilla either.
Minya.
Yes, with his little poof balls, his smoke rings he blows.
Godzilla says I should learn to fight my own battles.
Oh, God, don't bring up the one where they fucking dubbed in a voice for him because this is why I watch subtitles. That's all I'm saying.
Cheska, you know what we're talking about?
No, which one was that?
In Godzilla's son of Godzilla. Is that the name of the movie?
I think it is.
Godzilla has a son. His name is Minya. And in the American dub, he has a terrible voice that I'm going to cut in right about here.
Godzilla says that I should learn to fight my own battles, you know.
But yeah, it's awful. We'll show it to you.
I mean, it's almost like, who did they cut into the original Godzilla movie? The reporter. Who was that?
I forget the actor.
Random actor, man.
Wasn't Raymond Burr, was it?
Yeah.
It was Raymond Burr.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
that sounds right.
Yeah. Not Aaron Burr. Aaron Burr shot Alexander Hamilton in that famous duel.
All right, Got Milk commercial.
That's the only reason I know it. Got Milk. I still think the best Got Milk commercial is the one where the guy is like going around the paradise room and there's giant cookies. He eats one and he's going around looking for milk and there's no water at all. Wait a minute, I'm not in heaven. And it turns out he's in hell because there's no milk.
So this came out in 1978. So at this time, where was the Toho series? Was the Toho series pretty much wrapped up at this time?
No. They made Godzilla into the...
It went for a while, then it left and came back in the 90s.
Yeah, you're right. So it was probably just about finished up then, because I think the... Oh, God.
Well, Tim, you were the one who researched the cartoon.
Yeah, my ass.
Did you get a new phone?
No, I've had this. Let's see.
This was an American cartoon, right?
It was.
Yeah.
So weird.
I know. Dick Robbins and Dwayne Poole made it. Hanna-Barbera. It's a Hanna-Barbera.
It's a Hanna-Barbera. Oh, you could tell that because of the freaking walk cycles.
The walk cycles, and I'm sitting there going, Johnny Quest?
Yeah.
Johnny Quest, anyone?
I have that written down,
Oh, yeah,
too.
that's what I thought, too. I didn't think of
Yeah, how about that theme song, by the way? Like...
It was so...
I feel like I like the theme song. I don't remember it, though.
What year did Cultosaurus Erectus come out?
80.
Ah, damn! It was 2 years too late for them to put Godzilla as the theme song to the cartoon.
What year did Reptilicus come out?
Was that the British one?
I think it was Belgium.
Oh,
It was from season
It was
11
Danish.
of Mystery Science Theater.
yeah, it was Danish. There was the British one too. What was the British one? I can't think of it.
don't know.
There was a British giant monster.
Well,
movie that
Idris
they-
Elba was in Pacific Rim. Does that count enough?
Sure, why not?
It's a British man in a kaiju film. All right, how long did this nonsense run for?
So this actually ran from, it looks like, let's see,
78 to 79.
78, 79, and it was 2 seasons.
Wow.
26 episodes of this fucking bullshit.
And knowing Hanna-Barbera, I'm sure there were all sorts of spin-off series. Godzilla and the Flintstones gang.
Godzilla meets the
repackaged.
Jetsons.
So the last Godzilla movie before this cartoon was Terror of Mechagodzilla, and
Ooh.
then after that was Return of Godzilla in 1984.
So
that
there
was
was
a- that was the
so there was
later
a
Godzilla.
break.
There's a big gap.
So that's when they went from the goofy-looking Godzilla from the late 70s into the evil-looking one that we got in the mid 80s to the early 90s, or to the late 90s.
Yep.
I still like the 70s ones better. They're
Really?
more fun to watch casually.
Like
They
when they
are,
get into
yeah.
the giant silver rocket ships and like that fly around and do all
Jet
the-
Jaguar.
Yeah.
Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar.
I only remember that because of Mystery Science Theater. That's all I remember.
What's your favorite Godzilla movie?
Well, Mechagodzilla is my favorite Godzilla character. But
Really?
when I watched them when I was so young, so they all kind of blended together for me, honestly.
If I had to pick one that I can remember off the top of my head, it was the first movie with King Ghidorah, where he was from
Was that
Planet
Destroy
X.
All Monsters?
It might have been, but he was Monster X, or he was from Planet X or something like that, and he didn't have the name King Ghidorah yet. Which movie has the giant tarantula thing?
That's the Monster Island.
That's Monster Island. That was
That was like the repackaged one. They used a bunch of clips from the previous movies in that one.
that had
I'm gonna be straight up, like 80% of my Godzilla knowledge. I watched the movies when I was younger. 80% of my knowledge comes from James Roll.
That's fair. That's fair. There's a shout out to James Rolfe from Cinemassacre.
Godzilla thong.
I know, dude. I love when he does the Halloween time, all the horror movies.
Yeah.
Like he like, and not to like like talk up somebody else's shit, but at the same time, he really knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
As far as like Godzilla movies that go, though, like you can't say that if you're awake at the 2 a.m. and bored, and you're flipping through and you suddenly see a kaiju film, a Godzilla film specifically,
Those movies
you stop.
are the epitome of casual watch.
Yeah.
Like
there's-
that is background noise, and you could just look over from whatever you're doing every couple minutes, like, oh,
Godzilla has him up in the air and he's spinning him and he's about to throw him into the high tension wires. Sweet. You know, like watching Godzilla pick up a bus and throw it back down.
oh, Godzilla's fighting the Frankenstein monster.
How did Godzilla fit inside the McDonald's? Oh, they got his order wrong.
What is that?
That's nothing, but it's just something I was thinking about. You know, hell, I could put one of the Austin Powers movies on and probably look away and look back and Godzilla's on there.
I've never seen the Austin
Oh,
Powers.
you suck.
Mike
Yo.
Myers and Jim Carrey were not part of my childhood.
Like that, and that's why.
Can we get back to Godzilla 1978? Because
Yes,
I've
we
got a
can.
lot of unkind words to say about it.
Yeah, so let's talk about that theme song.
That was fucking awful.
It was terrible.
I remember nothing
Up
about
from the
it.
depths, 30 stories tall, breeze, fire, his head in the sky. It's like,
I
what
think-
the fuck? It didn't even rhyme.
I liked it until it got to
Godzuki.
Yeah,
I was just like,
In fact,
all
it
right.
was good until they shoehorned in.
Look at my
Godzilla.
notes.
done.
It says, talk about theme song, and the next thing is, fuck you, Godzuki.
Yeah, Godzuki was the scrappy dooiest Scrappy Doo. I will take.
Scrappy Doozilla.
I'll take the Phoenix from Conan over Godzuki any day.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God,
This was terrible. First of all, why not just have Minya, who is actually a part of the Godzilla canon?
Yep.
And second of all, ugh.
Turns his head away from the mic to
crummy.
belch so you don't hear it.
I wrote Godzuki, Scrappy Dookie. The title of this episode is The Firebird.
Yep, the Firebird.
So my first impression was immediately, oh, sweet. Godzilla rolling up in a Pontiac.
I was thinking that too.
I want that fan art.
Oh my God.
Dude. I was like, first thing I've written down after the title of the episode is Johnny Quest style animation, which
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it really was.
Big time Johnny
it was
Quest.
like, I'm like looking
That
at
was the first
Like,
thing
this
I
was like
thought.
stolen character
Yeah.
models.
Everything was like Johnny Quest ripoff here.
it can't be a ripoff of the same company that made Johnny Quest is making it.
No, there's self-plagiarism.
Yeah.
Like how Disney reused a lot of their animation in that early stuff.
We don't talk about that.
Disney's frozen and cryogenically below. It's a small world.
Why are you gonna drink my
You
beer?
have a record.
Yeah. Yeah, we all know what he's waiting for to come back. Anyway, Nazi bastard. Anyway, so I don't mean that.
Yeah, if you took out the 3 minutes of cartoon time that Godzilla's actually in this, it would just be an episode of Johnny Quest.
It really would,
be.
with an annoying lizard sidekick that talks like that. Yo, what the fuck?
And an uninspired villain. Like the volcano bird was so boring.
We haven't really got there yet, but I know what you mean.
He's
like,
he's in the first shot. He's
not
in the first
shot.
scene.
He's in the first. Yeah, but first we have the two scientists sitting on the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, looking at a Dora volcano that suddenly becomes active.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, what do we do? Let's go to the boat. The boat's gone. Okay, let's go back and radio for help in the liquid hot magma.
We're boned.
So they radio for help, and then you see.
You're stealing Chris's gimmick.
Oh, sorry.
What?
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 Sorry, Chris. Why don't you
What?
tell us from here then?
What? Goddamn, pal, what the fuck you talking about? What?
I just saw him looking at his notes as you were talking. I was like, oh.
I completely apologize.
Oh,
It was
go
your
ahead.
dad's
Go.
boilo that did that to me.
That's fine. I don't fucking remember. What happened, Tim?
That crazy Pennsylvania bathtub liquor.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, it's good. Can't help it that Grandpa's in it.
It's
while
awesome.
We're mixing it together.
I think I found one of his dentures. Well, that fell out. Someone will get it. Down in the skook.
All right, so nature attacks the scientists.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
get to these scientists and blah, blah, blah. And then cuts to the boat with Godzuki horsing around.
There's
Like-
such a tonal shift between the two scientists facing death, and then we go straight to hide and seek with my dinosaur pal.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And of course they have the goofy times according to the trope music. I have that written down, like that goofy music they always play when there's an animal or a sidekick doing something zany.
Yeah.
Like fuck. dude.
Godzuki's character design doesn't even fit in with like Godzilla's at all.
No.
Like
his
Godzilla's a
wings.
lot more beyond that. He's just he's more rounded and like cartoonish than Godzilla. Like, do you know what I mean? Like Godzilla's
Yeah.
more
I
angular.
almost feel like they like made the Godzilla parts and then went like, okay, we need to tie these
like
together
they
with
just
something.
traced over Pete's dragon.
They
They did.
This
did, didn't they?
Godzuki
Oh,
looks
shit.
like a
I didn't
blue
think about
Pete's
that.
dragon with tinier wings.
Blue, you mean green?
Godzuki's blue.
Godzuki's green.
Well, Pete's dragon's also green.
So then he's not like a blue Pete's dragon, is he? He's like a green Pete's dragon, therefore he's like Pete's dragon.
Whatever.
How could you forget what color the fucking most annoying
'Cause
character
I watched
was?
it last night before bed.
So did I. So like, let's see. The kid can understand Godzuki.
Yeah, he can,
yeah,
he
like-
can understand him.
Oh, I see you speak gutter bum too.
It's like a Pokemon
And
situation.
then later on in the episode, like that Captain Major's like, "Oh, you can understand him." No, not really.
He's
I just know what he's thinking.
He's
oh, do you
like,
think he's gonna fly off?
no, because he says, you can talk to him? He's like, no, we communicate telepathically. It's like, that's more impressive, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Fucked
So
up.
like, and by the way, the names Captain Majors. What was his first name?
Was it Brock? Or,
Brock Majors?
So
Brock?
there was a bra.
There's a Brock in this episode.
Is it the
Or
smart black
Brock or-
kid? Was it with the smart? Was Brock the smart black kid? No, his name was
No.
like.
That was Brock.
Was that Brock?
Was
Yeah.
that Brock? Oh, why couldn't it be? why couldn't he have been Brock Majors though? So we could have made like the ham flapjaw and
He was Dr. Adventure Majors.
yeah. His middle name's Danger.
Dr. Fist McMuscles.
Austin Danger Powers. So after what? From here, we have tidal waves coming, and Captain Majors is like, "Oh, that better not be that Godzuki again."
That darn Godzuki causing
Dang you,
trouble.
Godzuki.
Unexplained where he even came from.
Yeah.
And then he has a button to summon Godzilla.
Yeah.
He's got
What?
a pager on his belt that just summons Godzilla.
Well, at least no other
there's
Godzilla
no backstory
cartoons.
to this cartoon. Like, was this really the first episode?
Yeah.
Because like
There's no explanation as to how they have a button to summon Godzilla,
Godzilla
who's
is
their
just
friend.
their guy on call all the time.
Yeah, it's like, what is he like? Is Godzilla's real first name Bentley or something like that? Bentleyzilla? Bentley Godzilla? Yeah. No, it was. This show is muff cabbage.
It was pretty bad.
It's fucking terrible.
Well, then they summon Godzilla with a magical
Paging
button,
Dr. Godzilla.
and then Godzilla shows up and picks up the boat to save them from the tidal waves.
Ew.
Yo,
Oh,
what is
no.
with Godzilla? His head was huge when he first came out of the water. Did you notice that his body was tiny? His head was absolutely he was like super deformed. He looked like Reptar.
Yeah.
He looked like fucking Reptar.
Yeah.
He really did. I'm wondering
And
if.
The thing that I noted, his roar was terrible.
Oh my god! Like
It was weak as hell.
I have the whole roar and the Firebird screaming thing later.
Yeah,
I thought
okay.
that was fucking annoying as shit.
oh my
But
god!
for the
Oh,
uninitiated,
there's the thing I say about the Firebird screaming too. That might get me in trouble.
for the uninitiated, this is what Godzilla's supposed to sound like. And I'm not gonna cut in what the cartoon Godzilla sounds
I could-
like because
I
I don't know how to rip from Daily Motion.
Well, no. Here, do you want me to just?
Twirling my mustache. That's what Godzilla says.
His roar sucks, and then oh great, Scrappy Zilla can fly.
Yep. And then you got him.
Yes, everybody take note of this. He has no difficulty flying at this part of the episode.
Oh yeah.
He's able to fly, no questions asked, no complaints, no hesitation. He
Yo,
just does. For
After
a respectable distance.
Godzilla
Make
saves,
note of that.
which Godzilla picks up the boat and the tidal wave comes in and he sets the boat back down. Right? Did anybody else take note of the creepy fucking smiles these people had on their faces?
No.
I did. It was like, honest God, it was kind of actually terrifying. So you need to teach Godzuki how to doggy paddle. More like monster paddle. God, this is so fucking bad.
I hate. There's this other line too when Godzuki's trying to fly, and I guess he lands in the water, and they're like, "Oh, 10-point landing and a wet one too." I was like, as soon as I heard that line, it's like, "Oh my god, shoot me in the head now."
Yo, then like this.
Yeah, the kid's pretty demanding to a
Yo,
fucking
you know what I've
giant
written down?
dragon.
Yeah.
F this blonde kid with the "I want to see your manager" haircut.
Dude, this dude is a page boy for real.
Yeah.
Straight out of Arthurian times.
Like, yo, what's with this? Like, God, he looks like Donny Osmond. He has Donny Osmond hair.
I was
Yeah.
thinking, Cousin Oliver from fucking Brady Bunch.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That's what he looks like.
Was Cousin Oliver in the Brady Bunch cartoon?
We'll find out, won't we?
Next week? No.
No.
No,
We'll get there eventually.
I don't know if I'm ready.
So,
for
I don't.
that
I
yet.
still trying to wrap my head around the summon Godzilla button. I mean, at least no other Godzilla series has.
He's
some
not even
stupid-
wearing like a collar or anything.
No.
Yeah, like so. What do they use? Like a fucking sound waves to.
Oh,
summon the
but at
beast?
least no other cartoon they made about Godzilla uses some.
I don't
arbitrary
know
method
if
to solve
Soundwave
Godzilla.
would help them because I'm pretty sure he was a Decepticon.
I was in mid beer glug when you said that. It's in my
Cha-ching! What?
It's in my nose.
Cha-ching! What? Goddamn, pal, what'd you just say Godzilla was? What?
Trivia: what were the name of the cassette tapes that came with Soundwave?
You suck.
Oh, I
Shut
have
up.
No idea.
I can't remember anymore. Do you know?
Not off the top of my head. Not off the dome ski.
So, like,
Did we get to the scientist exposition dump yet?
yeah,
There's
like,
a part where the two scientists are just talking like, this is all scientists and TV shows are for.
Yeah.
Just dumping exposition.
but then they're talking about how the volcano could cause every volcano in the Aleutian Islands to erupt.
That's what I'm
erupt.
talking about.
Yeah, and then look, they have a helicopter. Like
That the kid's just allowed to fly. Is
okay,
that? Are
we're
we not out
yet.
there yet?
We're
Okay.
not there yet.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
But there's a hovercraft,
There is a hovercraft.
And it's not a hovercraft where that, like, we know hovercrafts.
If
where
this
it,
cartoon came out
floats
10
on a
years later,
cushion
there
out
would be toys of all of these vehicles.
Yeah, right?
Oh man, that would have been great.
Well, there already was Godzilla toys, so they didn't even have to worry about it.
Giant rubbery ones.
Yeah, but they were cool. I actually have an old Godzilla.
My friend
somewhere.
had like one that was like 3 feet high. It was super cool.
You almost said this tall and
I
realized that
know.
nobody could hear. Yes, people, look through your speakers. At how,
a grasshopper. No, that's a small thing.
So, like, look, they have a helicopter. Then suddenly the Firebird pops out again. It looks like a fire ostrich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
And
It looks like the most generic phoenix.
yeah.
And like, so, like, well, what are we gonna do? Well, there's these magma tubes
Pause.
we can walk into. Word.
We're recording again.
Are we
The
recording?
last thing that was said was something in relation to a thing.
Okay, so
Something about the fire, bud.
they're like,
You're too far away from your mic.
oh, my bad. So they're like, oh, well, look at these magma tubes on the side of the volcano. We could probably find the core of the volcano there. Oh, yeah, great idea. Let's walk into a live fucking volcano and see what's up.
You know what?
I
That's
know
what they
you're
end up
talking
doing.
about. That
so-
sounded like a brilliant idea.
You know what? If honest to God, if it worked out the way I think all of us wished it worked out, it would have been a great idea.
You forget that we're dealing with professional scientists here.
Oh yeah, he's a professional geologist. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's okay. I'm a limo driver. It's fine.
Yeah. He doesn't get that reference.
No, he doesn't.
What's the reference?
Dumb and Dumber.
So,
Oh, great. We're putting our lives in the hands of a geologist.
So now the kid's in the fucking helicopter because Godzuki took off.
Yep.
So the blonde kid knows how to fly a complicated helicopter.
What was his line in the helicopter?
Wait. We have to go back. Because this is the part where he says, "Oh, you can talk to him." No, I just read his thoughts.
Oh.
And I put down, "The Shining would have been so much cooler if Jack Torrance was a giant winged dragon instead of an alcoholic."
What about an alcoholic giant winged dragon?
They could have just flown away.
So then, like,
What was the kid's line in the helicopter? It was something so bad, like, "Oh, I really have to start training him what to do. I really have to train him," or some shit like that. It's just like, what? What are
No
you gonna
more
do?
Scooby snacks for a week.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
something stupid like that.
like it's.
For Godzuki, for this little blonde haired kid.
Oh my! I hated this show so much.
Oh,
Do you think like the other episodes are better than this one?
No.
no, they're
no
all
way.
awful.
They were all made in the same Coke binged session. They just had like 4 animators just going at it.
Johnny Depp's
And then there's a
character-
volcano. And then Godzilla's flying a helicopter.
Johnny Depp's character from Blow had them all hooked up to rectal tubes with cocaine flying straight into them. Like, oh God, I don't know where that's coming
You
from.
guys ready for the line of the episode?
Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
Please.
So to set the scene, our heroes are in an active volcano. Brock, the smartest of the group. Wow, it's hot in here.
Actually, I got one in a little bit that might take that.
All right.
So, actually, the things are really beginning to heat up
Yes,
in a volcano.
that's it.
What the fuck? That's what I have written down.
Oh, and then this very dramatic moment where Godzuki's hanging off the edge of the volcano.
And I'm like, let him die, please.
He can fly.
Yeah.
Why does he need to hang on to the edge? They're like, hang on, Godzuki.
Well, they're
Like,
like-
no. Let go and flap your arms, dude.
Yeah. So we better turn around. And there's, oh no, a cave in. I knew it was coming. I saw it coming from about 20 miles out.
Why didn't you warn them?
Well, it was 1978. I was still 6 years off from being born.
For a positive note, I wrote down that 70s flames are cool.
Yeah, they were pretty cool flames. So then, like, Godzuki crawls into the volcano, and of course, dumbass blonde kid decides he wants to go in after him.
My notes just say this little page boy motherfucker.
So he goes in after him. So then he's with Godzuki, and they're walking. And he goes, he's calling out for him. I'm beginning to wonder if we're in the right volcano. That's my line of the episode. That is my
All right,
line of the
okay,
episode
yeah.
because I'm Lewis Blacking right now. Give me a second. There's only one fucking volcano in the entire show. How could? Oh,
Kids today, huh? 70s
then.
kids.
It was at this point where I realized that this show is just Johnny Quest plus kaiju,
yeah,
and that's not as cool as it sounds.
yeah.
Like if that's your pitch, greenlit for 3 seasons.
So like,
But
the mod squad standing there next to the pit of liquid hot magma.
Mod Squad.
The mod
That is
squad.
a great comparison.
Yeah.
Mod Squad.
They're standing there next to. I didn't even write that down. That just came off the top of my head right here. So
That's great.
they're staring down, and suddenly the Firebird shows up, shrieking like an angry feminist. Yeah, I'm gonna. Don't worry, there's another one later on. Anyway,
no, there's not.
oh, it's coming out. What was that shriek? Oh, I don't know. The hunter, like when they see the kid across, like, hey, did you hear that? And they hear him call out, and they look over. He's 20 feet away. The kid's 20 feet away from them. Like,
Yeah, he's
did
like,
you hear
oh.
that? Oh, there you are. Hey, what was that shriek? I don't know. Maybe the 100-foot tall red fucking bird right below your feet.
I like how the little kid from across the way, he's like, hey, we're here to help, but instead we've ended up making this situation much worse for everyone involved.
So, Godzuki flies the kid across. How'd they get out? There was a cave-in. Shouldn't have Godzuki flown everybody over to his side where there wasn't a cave-in?
Yeah, why couldn't Godzuki have more than the tiny page boy on his back?
I know. Like, so they take off out of the cave, and then boom. The Firebird escapes, still shrieking like a Hillary supporter in 2016. Yep, did it again. Told you. Yeah, I only do it for the hate, folks. I really don't care. Anyway.
Leave a pause so I can cut it easily.
Wait, no, I'm not leaving any pauses. Leave that in.
Thank you, sir.
I want to see the hatred I get.
There's not going to be any hatred.
Feel free to hate mail me at blue_gremlin.
No. We're only giving out one handle, and it's witacartooncast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at witacartoon. And you can stream episodes of the podcast online on Google Music and Spotify.
Mm-hmm. Have you checked the email yet?
No.
Seriously, could you check it now?
No. I'm a consummate professional.
Who doesn't check his fucking email? Give me the password. I'll check it.
I'm giving you the password. It's the same one I use for everything.
Oh. Oh, you're like me, I see. Somebody just burped, and it wasn't me. Even though it tasted like sushi. And Turkey Hill sandwich. Anyway, so
Godzilla shows up.
Yep, calling Godzilla. Monster fighting time. And the bird has heat ray breath. Cool. Guess who doesn't have heat ray breath?
Yeah, Godzilla breathes fire. Godzilla does not have atomic breath in the show.
He doesn't even breathe fire.
He does breathe fire.
He never breathes fire at any point. Godzuki did.
Godzuki did? I thought Godzilla breathed fire at the beginning. Maybe
he
in
has
the
laser
opening.
beam eyes.
He has laser beam eyes in this episode.
I did not
Godzilla
see-
has laser beam eyes in this episode?
You didn't notice that he fired his laser beam eyes at the bird and did not use death breath at least once.
Yep.
I was actually fucking pissed.
Well, then he breathed fire in the opening because I definitely remember
He might have.
Godzilla
He
breathing
probably
fire.
did breathe fire there, but I guess he probably didn't use it because he realizes a
But the-
firebird.
But there was no atomic breath.
Yeah, I want the atomic death breath, as me and my friends call it. So the ship's still sitting there while Godzilla's fighting the Firebird.
No. Before they fight each other, a couple things.
Okay.
How deep is the water? Because Godzilla just appears to be standing on top of it like a Christ figure. And before they even start fighting, they're like standing away from each other, taunting, like freaking Smash Bros.
Oh, I think this was the part where they got pissed because they were both screaming at each other.
Yeah,
Oh,
and not
yeah.
doing anything.
Not doing anything. They're just like the fucking firebirds.
They're just amping each
And
other
Godzilla's
up.
Yeah. That fucking annoyed the hell out of me.
And then Ness was like, PK fire!
So, and I'm trying to figure out why is the boat still hanging out there? Hey, let's stay and watch the fight, not escape the safety.
Yeah, like they're
they just want to see monsters go at it, bro.
Yeah, well,
That's all they
to be
came
fair, how are you
for.
going to pass that up?
I'd rather watch
Why
guys
aren't
in
they
rubber
charging
suits, though.
people for this?
Oh, and yeah, that was my issue too. The fight is so lame.
It is.
They're not constrained to guys in rubber suits. They have animation. They can make it look however they want, and it still sucks and is boring.
Like you would think they'd make it even better, but no.
It
This
seems like-
Godzilla's a pussy.
They seem like they toned it down, possibly for audience.
The children?
Do you think?
Screw that. Screw
No,
kids.
they should know better. So, like, I've written down. Let's see. This Godzilla's a pussy. He's taking Frankenstein's monster approach to fighting by waving his arms.
Fire bad.
You know, where's the death breath? And like the fight is boring and stupid, and the bird takes off towards the Antarctic to lay eggs.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah, the bird actually flew to Antarctica, was flying to Antarctica or Arctica, whatever one.
Is that where they're like, oh, if he gets there, he can lay millions of eggs?
Yeah,
and it's like,
like,
how do you know that?
Where's
What do
Daddy
you-
Firebird? And
Where's this info coming from?
they only know he's flying there because of a special heat scope they have that can detect him. And I've written down heat scope ex machina.
No, I had a different Ex Machina.
We'll use your ex machina when it comes up.
Fine.
So
So he gets to the Arctic and starts heating it up.
yep.
And they said climate change was a myth.
We all know that we didn't cause it. The Firebird did.
Thank you, Godzilla, for saving all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where's the Firebird dad, by the way? Like, what did the Firebird mate with? To
The
make
Firebird's a
these eggs?
guy.
Well, how's he gonna lay eggs?
He's like a clownfish.
Did he mate with himself? These are gonna be lumpy Firebird babies.
Don't act like you've never mated with yourself.
He's-
4 to 5 times an afternoon.
If I could mate with myself, I wouldn't leave the house. Anyway. Oh no.
Oh, Godzuki's flying again. Doesn't seem to have any trouble now.
He gets
Only
his
when
ass
it's convenient for the
burned,
plot.
Right away, he flies in, taunts the
yeah.
Firebird, and shoots him in the ass with death with fire breath.
So Godzilla and the Firebird end up fighting underwater,
Mm-hmm.
which is not a big deal for Godzilla because he like lives underwater or whatever.
But
But
Firebird's fine too.
the bird does not react to being underwater at all.
This is the kind of show that if there was a space episode, everybody wouldn't have a spacesuit in space. Just saying.
So Godzuki comes to the rescue, and this is where I have my Godzuki Ex Machina.
Wait a minute. I just said everybody be able to breathe in space. I just suddenly realized everybody could breathe in space in Space Ghost. And Space Ghost was Hanna-Barbera too. So I was probably right.
There were no physicists on the Hanna-Barbera
Apparently
team.
not. Anyway, your Ex Machina, sir?
Godzuki Ex Machina, he drops rocks onto the Firebird, trapping him in an underwater cave, which is a great lesson to the kids. Just drown all your problems away.
Yeah. Okay, I have an issue with that. Wasn't it a chunk of ice when it fell in the water and it turned into a rock?
I think it was a rock.
I think it was a piece of ice. It was white.
I got a rock.
I get a rock.
Could have been a frost-covered rock.
So he traps the Firebird in the cave, and his roar still sucks. Yeah, now everything's okay. The super happy ending. This show is shit, and I'm sorry that I suggested we do it next.
Yeah, this show was not good.
It wasn't the best.
No, it really wasn't. I honestly, it was worse than Hammerman. Or I'm sorry.
This was one of the worst shows we've watched so far.
It was worse than My Pet Monster for damn sure.
Oh, I don't
No.
know. I think My Pet Monster
okay,
still
yeah,
takes
you're
the
right.
No,
cake
this
on
was
that
more
one.
boring than My Pet Monster.
It was worse than Chuck Norris' Karate Commandos?
No,
That was
Chuck Norris Karate Commandos wasn't even that bad.
Actually, you're right. It wasn't. It was just kind of silly.
Mhm.
What about
not
Jackie Chan
rank-
Adventures? No, that was actually kind of fun.
Give us some more time before we rank all the episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Godzilla, did it deserve to be a cartoon?
No. Well, yes. but-
Asterisk. This format, no.
Yeah, it
No.
deserved better.
It could have been a
Godzilla
lot
deserved
better.
way better.
Yes.
yeah,
I-
which will come across later.
Really? Do you like? We'll save it for that episode.
Well, here's the deal. At the end of every episode, we like to give a pitch for a cartoon, for an adaptation that we would like to see, something that could fit in a lineup alongside some of these shows. And my pitch is Godzilla, done right. Godzilla's Monster Squad.
Ooh, with Gigan and
Yeah, Godzilla and the gang. And they're all monsters.
Gearus and
Yeah.
and King Ghidorah and Mothra.
Like a G.I. Joe squad, except it's all kaiju.
That'd be.
And you just do a Monster of the Week thing. Is that so fucking hard?
It's not, and they have an animation budget, so they can actually do cool things with the fights too.
Yeah. That's all you need. Godzilla and all his friends. And they would talk to each other, I guess, because you need to advance the plot. So you don't have to have stupid, boring, shoehorned in human characters.
Yeah, no human characters.
Sam, do you have a pitch this week?
I will in a minute after Chris goes.
I will in a minute after Tim goes.
Son of a bitch. How about
Listen, I made mine up on the spot.
I was working on it, actually. I was trying to think. I don't have a pitch this week.
Tim loses this week. Let's press the big loser button. No, I'm gonna cut something in.
Cut the
Chris, what do you got? Or
I'm
are
just
you
gonna-
gonna get the big
I'm
loser
just gonna say
button too?
Mothra the cartoon because I always like.
Chris
Mothra.
gets the big loser button too
He's
this
even worse
week.
for just copying yours.
I thought it before he had it.
Here, let me cut in the Big Loser sound.
Wah, wah.
All right, guys, I think we're going to land this plane. That's all we got for Godzilla 78. Be sure to come back next week where we take a look at a different take on the monster mythos. Like I said earlier, you can find us online on Facebook at WITA Cartoon. Also, be sure to email us at witacartooncast@gmail.com. We'll look at it eventually. You can find us streaming on Spotify and Google Music. And we also have an RSS feed that you can find on our Facebook page. I think that's all. That's all the plugs. Be sure to buy a Casper mattress and tell them we sent you. Maybe they'll find some money to give us. But as for now, that's the Wise as a Cartoon Cast. I'm Joey.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Tim.
And we will catch you guys later.